Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we have a brand new card from Bread Financial to take a look at. It's being billed as an Amex card. Well, sort of. So, in typical fashion, we will talk about what Bread Financial is or who they are. We'll talk about this Amex card and the DNA it shares. Of course, multipliers, benefits, that whole thing. Come out on the other end, figuring out this is a card that you should consider adding to your wallet or not. So, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, first things first, who is Bread Financial? Well, Bread Financial is a kind of like a rebranding of two companies, right? So the primary one you'll be most familiar with is Common or Common Bank, however you want to say it. And the other one is Alliance Data. So if you go over to their website, you can see they're still very much financial focused company. They offer all the basic things, that I believe they offered before. I mean, the Common had some other co-branded cards in the mix, but of course this is a brand new card because with a rebrand comes a brand new card. So, I also understand that bread is a way the young people describe money, so it's kind of a fitting name, I guess. But, they're just trying to be hip, which I am not. That's why I just learned that. We should probably talk about the card now. So here we have it on screen for you. Is the Bread Cashback card. So there is no annual fee. The multipliers here will be a classic 2x on all purchases, and the benefits here are no foreign transaction fees. Now, I'll leave this on screen for a second. I want to talk about something here. The headline, and I'll probably do this too in the title as well, is it's an American Express card. And that's not technically wrong because it is an American Express card, but it's on American Express's network, right? So you remember that American Express has credit cards of their own, the green, gold, platinum charge credit cards that we all love. They're also a payment network, right? So I think USAA has American Express cards on their payment network. The Wells Fargo Propel that everyone loved was technically an American Express card. So American Express is not the issuer of this card, though. It's just on their payment network. Bread Financial is the issuer, or Common Bank, it is now Bread Financial is the issuer. But it does share some American Express DNA that we will talk about. So two things here before we get to that, though. At the time of recording, because it is a new card, there is no public-facing sign-up bonus for this card. So we're recording this in probably early May. Card's been out for maybe 2 weeks now. But however, if you go to their card page here on Bread Financial, you can see received a pre-screen offer and find my offer. So if you click through that, I don't have an offer, but if you click through that, it gives you, you'll get a letter in the mail with a code that you can enter in. I say all that to say, if we're going through this and you're interested, see if you end up getting a mailer, right? Because that very well could have a targeted sign-up bonus on the card. Anything without a sign-up bonus is kind of a tough sell. So that leads me to believe there may be some sign-up offers out there, at least, again, at the time of taping. Now, again, let's talk about the rewards and earnings for this card. It's very simple. Again, remember, it's not a membership reward earning card or anything like that. This card is going to earn cash back. It's in the name. Now, the good news is your points don't expire. Other good news is there are no minimum redemptions. So you could redeem 1 point, which would be 1 penny if you wanted to, which is nice to see. Now, your redemption options, you're going to have two options. Statement credit, pretty classic. Or you could do a direct deposit. Now, if you go through it, they even say, hey, we'll direct deposit where you provide an account and routing number, which means you could get this card and then you could send your cash out to Bank of America or Ally, wherever you wanted to, which is really nice because a lot of times banks limit it. They don't want the cash to leave their network, so they limit it to only their account. So that's pretty good. So that's the basics of the card itself. So we talked earlier about it sharing some DNA with American Express besides the American Express payment logo. So what exactly does this share in common with other American Express cards that we love? So if you take a look here, I put a full list on screen, but they have Amex deals. So Amex deals are basically like they have partnerships. I think one of them they had was with Lounge Buddy, which of course they own. They had something with Avis where you can save some money when you book through that, right? Now, it's different than Amex offers. So everyone's fairly familiar with Amex offers. Amex offers are basically like coupons that you can add to your card. On the Amex side of the house, depending on which card you're talking about, they can earn you membership reward points, percentages off, or cash back. So you won't see any MR ones over here, but I've got some on screen you can take a look at. Amex offers are kind of, it's nice to keep in your back pocket. Now, there's also entertainment access, so you basically like booking tickets. I wouldn't say it's like, hey, this is going to be like the Platinum Concierge and they're going to find you, tickets that you can't get, but you can book tickets through them. things like this, they usually set aside tickets for card members, as part of being a member, if you will. And in addition to that, they have dining at participating restaurants. It looks like you get, your option, right? You can either get 20% off your bill or, a free appetizer. It's one or the other. Of course, there's a limit on that 20%, I believe. And this goes through Resi as well. So Amex and Resi, they have a partnership. Amex might actually own them outright. So, you can go through that. Now, again, if you look up, locations, it's kind of limiting, that they seem to be more skewed towards New York and bigger cities like that. So just be aware of that. But if you're a foodie, there could be an option there as well. Now, that is basically the DNA that this card shares with Amex, which is not a terrible partnership to say it's on the payment network, and then you do get some of these benefits. And the reason being is because, well, you can judge the offers for yourself. I put some on the screen. They're always rotating through, but you can judge them for yourself, whether they're helpful or not. But one of the interesting things about American Express is, on the personal side of the house, they don't really have just like a catch-all card. To get a catch-all card, you have to go to the business side. You get the Blue Business Plus, which earns 2% MR points, or the Blue Business Cash, which earns 2% on up to like $50,000 worth in spend. So, this gives you another avenue potentially if you want some of the benefits of an Amex card. Not the whole thing. Plus, those are business cards. Not everyone wants to do that. Now, overall, the big thing here is that there are no foreign transaction fees, in my opinion, because no foreign transaction fee cards are generally cards with annual fees, and we've seen some of them bite the dust. The PayPal one most recently, yes, they rebranded, they added a new category to it, but it was a card that had no foreign transaction fees for no annual fee. I think SoFi's card still is a 2% card with no foreign transaction fees. So that's probably the best use case for this card overall. Now, again, I think if you just want a 2% card, I'm not saying this card is bad by any means, but if you wanted to compare it just to this versus the Wells Fargo Active Cash, well, then I tend to lean Active Cash just because there's a $200 sign-up bonus usually that's kind of just stays on the card for, I was like maybe $1,000 in spends. It's like a 20% return versus no sign-up bonus on this one, right? So that that would be kind of my deciding factor if you're just looking for a 2% card. But again, if you're like, hey, I buy stuff overseas a lot, I want no foreign transaction fees, 2% table minimum, plus I get some access to Amex offers, which could or could not be a benefit for you. It really just depends. And I think it could be an interesting option. So really just kind of up to you and what you want to use. But overall, that is the Bread Financial credit card. So again, if you're interested, keep your eye out for a mailer. I got to imagine it probably going to start to do a campaign push eventually. So anyways, guys, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, of course, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in for credit and finance. My question for you guys is, what do you think about the Bread Financial credit card? Does it live up to having the Amex logo on it? What do you think of the DNA? Do you find value in the Amex offers in deals section worth enough getting this card over maybe an Amex Blue Business Cash card? Love to hear your thoughts on that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.